Sup guys, gonna try a new style today where I just talk over the gameplay and not play any background music. Let me know if you enjoy it. The content won't be too dry though, so it should be fine. I'm gonna leave timestamps to the equipment that I use for each fleet, so you can go back and check them whenever you like. We're starting off here with a battleship fleet which does not feature Helena. Some will not have Helena and others will not have Aurora, but not using either one will likely be impossible this time around. This is essentially the same as the other no Helena one-shot that I did, except I replaced UVH with Kearsarge, who can deal about as much damage as UVH, and in addition provide some extra damage support to the other battleships. I've opted to use the Proto MK6 on Kearsarge because she doesn't receive Vanguard's on fire buff, and we're not using Helena either, so there's not going to be a huge difference in damage, especially when the last salvo deals the most against Jintsuu. Additionally, I found that if you use MK7 on both Bismarck and Kearsarge, Kearsarge's last salvo gets pushed back a bit too late to fully come out. So if you're going to use Bismarck with Kearsarge, it's ideal to use the Proto MK6 on her. However, I am by no means recommending that you upgrade the Proto MK6 to plus 13 as of now, so do so at your own risk. Not every single comp will rely on the Proto MK6. I should also mention that every single Helena comp will have a much higher chance to one-shot the boss than another fleet without her, but if you don't want to use her, then do as you like. And I also did notice afterwards that I was using an AP gun on A-Gear, which of course you shouldn't copy. There were a few attempts where I was just less than 2 bars short of a kill, which using the HE gun on A-Gear probably would have sealed the deal. For my attempts here, it seems that despite Kearsarge adding an extra faction buff and therefore bonus stats to Jintsuu, her damage as well as support made it easier to one-shot the boss. So you probably shouldn't sleep on her for battleship fleets just because she has massive damage buffs for carriers. In total, her damage is noticeably higher than UVH when accounting for her special burns, and she just contributed a lot more because of the debuff tied to her planes. If you don't mind using Helena, then replacing either A-Gear or Plymouth will probably lead to easier one-shots but lower average damage. Next up is a USS plus HMS comp. You know it's going to be good when it has both Aurora and Helena. This fleet has the least RNG since we're not relying on Lucky E as well as radar scan. If you're using Kearsarge with no other battleships, then using an MK7 along with high performance fire control radar will get you exactly 4 strikes, all within radar scan windows. If her cooldowns get pushed back even slightly by another battleship though, this setup won't make it in time for the last salvo. I got 3 SG procs and overkilled by quite a bit, so 2 should be enough to kill in most cases, as long as one of the 2 procs is for the last salvo. Everything else here is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm gonna talk about something else. My impression of Kearsarge so far is that my initial estimation was pretty much spot on. She was pretty obviously going to deal more damage than Vanguard, with potential to deal as much if not more than New Jersey. And we can see here with her special burns that against light armor, she's probably dealing more damage than New Jersey. This, on top of the fact that she also brings massive carrier buffs, easily cements her as one of the best main fleet ships in the game. Taking a look back at my battleship tier list, you can see that I placed her top 4, which is definitely a fair placement, especially taking into account that all the ships in the top 4 have somewhat different rules, and could be better than another based on the situation. And the final fleet is just a variation of yesterday's fleet, but this time I'm using Baltimore rather than San Francisco. This is the fleet you'll probably have to go for if you don't have Aurora raised, but then again, who the hell is going to have Kearsarge done but not Aurora? In any case, this fleet does require quite a few procs in order to kill. As shown in yesterday's video, you can replace Baltimore with San Francisco if you like. I was just using San Francisco to see how well the new Rainbow Gun would perform. You can also use Proto MK6 on Kearsarge as well, as seen in yesterday's video. If you don't want to sink 360 plates into one equipment, you can opt for that option, but in general it's more advisable to upgrade the MK7 as opposed to the Proto MK6. I've tried replacing Enterprise with Hornet 2 to see if we can get more consistent results, but the problem is that Yorktown 2's cooldown reduction is 2% lower for SX class carriers as opposed to Yorktown class. So because of that 2% difference, Hornet 2 can't actually get her last airstrike off in time. Just why? It's also likely possible to replace Northampton 2 with another tank, but I wouldn't recommend it as the slow does increase consistency by quite a bit. You should also make sure to put Yorktown as the flagship when using Northampton 2, but Kearsarge as the flagship when using Plymouth for obvious reasons. And finally, I have a bit of a bonus comp which I tested with my 2 remaining assist attempts. This one is a USS plus KMS fleet, so no Aurora needed. As you can see, I missed the last and most important radar scan, so I couldn't knock off the last 20 bars. So a kill is definitely within the realm of possibility, but by no means consistent. Since I didn't get the kill here, I won't show the equipment, and you can try and see if you can pull off this kill with your own equipment choices as a challenge. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.